Listen, if there's anybody that is going to stand up and promote and be down for coaches in the ELF, it's this guy right here.
We doing everything they talk about. You know I'm everything a boss about. Not putting work and gotta talk.
Listen, somebody's got to speak for him. Like Kendrick said, somebody's got to do it, right? If there's anybody that's going to give some coaches some love, promote, shine a light, bring awareness to what everyone wants to know who may be the potential next head coach of your franchise is this guy right here, Athletes Forum Podcast. I'm your host, Jamal Clay. And I wanted to dive into this exercise because we're in year 5 of the ELF. You're starting to see a trend in regards to where the league is going and how teams are starting to operate. But I don't want to forget about the guys that either been here from the beginning or have put their blood, sweat, and tears into growing football in all of Europe in multiple leagues. So what I want to do for you is I'm going to give you a list of 3 names you should keep an eye on this season that could potentially get themselves promoted to head coach next season. Right? Maybe some 2 honorable mention names as well too. But these guys deserve the recognition because when you look at the league and you look at where it's going, a lot of teams, and this is not a bad thing, but a lot of teams feel like they have to go get that experienced head coach, NFL experience, high-level college football experience to run their organization. And granted, nothing against them, and those guys do have value in what they bring to Europe. But if we're going to be a league that wants to grow and develop players and, make sure we're teaching the game and improving, homegrowns and European talent and, getting these guys opportunities to go to NFL IPP, I feel we should do the same for coaches. Coaches, they deserve the opportunity to learn and grow and prove what they could do at a head coach position if they're willing to. You got to keep in mind, like, it's not easy to just leave where you're currently living and go be a coach in a different country. I get that. So totally understand that. But I want to make sure I shine a light, and we should keep an eye on these guys here. Now, first off, when you think about coaches in the league, you think about Kentra Olsen, defensive coordinator for Hamburg, now Munich head coach, right? You think about Andrew Weidiger, even though he came in as a head coach for Barcelona, went to the Rhine for the next 2 seasons, then got promoted to Madrid. You think of the 3 coaches from Madrid last season, offensive defensive coordinator. One goes to Ian Thoners and Sean and Coach Ridgely, and then the other one goes to Prague, right? So let's shine a light on some guys that I think deserve opportunity. So first, honorable mention, guys you should keep an eye on. First, Malik Jackson, defensive back coach for Munich Ravens. This guy has been around Europe. He's coached in Berlin. He's had his fair share of opportunities. I'm hopefully excited to see him get his opportunity as well too, to maybe possibly get to the next step and be a D coordinator, which could lead to a potential head coach. And remember, we also got to keep this in mind that there's baby steps. You go from position coach to coordinator to eventually head coach. So Malik Jackson, another one. Max Kusler, right? Been to Vienna, goes to Paris, receiver coach for a while, back with the Vikings. He's been an assistant head coach there and a tight ends coach. Now he's back with his team that he essentially built his bones in and started with the organization for the Vikings. So those 2 guys, definitely want to give them a shout out in regards to coaches to keep an eye out to take that next step before becoming head coach. But now let me give you 3 names of guys that, depending on the season that they have this year, could be your potential next head coach heading into ELF 26. First guy I want to get, Richard Kent, obviously assistant coach of the year for the Rhine Fire, defensive coordinator. We saw what he did with that team, top 5 in turnovers, top 5 in sacks, top 3 in total defense. They go on to win the ELF championship for a second time. He played a big part in a team that's very experienced on that side of the ball. Again, these guys, if given the opportunity and if they want it, should definitely be considered for head coaching opportunities. And if he has another dominant season, why not? Right? Why not, take that next step and potentially, become a head coach. Next one, Johannes Brenner, defensive coordinator for the Surge. I think it's well documented what the Surge and the turnaround they've been able to do within the first 2 years, going from 2 to 20, and then back-to-back playoff appearances and ELF championship appearance before losing to the Fire in both seasons. But when you look at the Surge and what they're able to do, top 5 total defense, top 5 in sacks, 1 in turnovers, right? This is a team that's been completely transformed. I like the team that they built this year. Great defensive line, hard conference though in the West when you're playing against Paris, Frankfurt, and the Cologne. We'll see how this pans out. But Johannes Brenner is a name you should keep an eye on. And let me give a shout out to my guy, Cody Passerini, right? Assistant defensive coordinator. I know he runs the DBs there. Up and coming name. You never know. You never know. And another name I want to give a shout out to, Kyle Callahan, offensive coordinator for Munich Ravens. He was an OC for the Raiders. Ever since he's been in the league, he's always had a top 5 offense, top 5, especially in passing. He's a guy that's, creative and innovative and, knows how to build a team, knows how to work with the pieces that he has. He's been through multiple quarterbacks, either no fault to him or whatnot. Obviously, he has experience working with Sean Shelton. Who knows? But, when you look at those 3 guys and Richard Kent for the Ryan Fire, you look at Johannes Brenner for the Stuttgart Surge, you look at Kyle Callahan, all right, for the Munich Ravens. Why not give these guys opportunities? Why not? If they want it, remember, they want it, but why not give these guys opportunities to show what they could do from a head coach position, right? We want to continue to grow the game in all aspects of it. From the players, we can't forget about the coaches as well, too. I don't have nothing against the NFL and love Jack Del Rio coming in, right? But I don't want this league to just – this is selfish for me, all right? I don't want this league to just be all about NFL head coaches or, experience high-level college head coaches, because then you take away from what the league was built on, which is the European League of Football, right? All right. I love what Hamburg's done, bringing in Coach Shaw and running that program, and what other teams have done too, right? You look at Jay Linhart and Cologne. You look at Marcus Horford and Helvetic. You look at Berlin bringing back Jag Ball and guys that had, poured their blood, sweat, and tears into coaching in all Europe and getting these opportunities to do it now on the biggest stage. So that's my 2 cents. You guys let me know what you think. Here's a locker room question for you. Should there be an import rule on American coaches? That's something different.